everyone? Welcome to a brand new spoiler review. We said spoilers, right, Kurtis? We're doing spoilers, full spoilers. So if you clicked on this video and you're expecting us to talk about Avengers Endgame without the spoilers, you're not going to get it. And if you guys don't know, this is my good friend Kurtis. We've seen every Marvel film together. This is really what formed our friendship. What, 11 years ago now?
11 years ago.
11 years ago.
High.
Yeah, so back in junior high, this is like the Iron Man formed our friendship, so we can thank Robert Downey Jr. for that.
Yes, we can.
And Endgame was like something we've been looking forward to for years. So I wanted to bring him in for the spoiler review. He's done, what, one other video with me? You've done the...
Yeah, I did the
Fast and Furious trailer reaction. And I want to get him in for other Fast and Furious stuff because that's like his favorite franchise of all time. But we're excited to talk about Endgame. Again, full spoilers. What we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about the good, the bad, stuff that we had little nitpicks with. But I think the more that we've thought about the film, we've definitely both liked it more.
Yeah. Over the last 2 days, just thinking about it and talking to other people about who are going to go see the movie, but without revealing anything, just how emotionally intertwined you are and how much it touches you. It's grown on me so much. Even the parts that like I didn't like necessarily, just the overall,
they don't bother you as much.
The overall movie itself just makes up for it.
And I think like out of all the Marvel films, this does feel like a movie. Like it's like Marvel films do have that typical like, you have one bad guy, you're going to deal with them. Maybe there's an Infinity Stone, maybe there's not. This is one of the films that doesn't fall at the same manner.
No, it's got a whole bunch of different things. Like the first, it's a 3-hour movie. So like the way I described it is like the first hour deals with one aspect.
Yes.
The second hour deals with another aspect, and then the third aspect is a completely different thing. But it works together so well.
But we can talk about it now because the first act is pretty much an epilogue to Infinity War. It is the where are these characters after everything happened. And I love seeing how everyone's dealing with it. You got a Black Widow, who I thought was excellent in here. I think this is Scarlett Johansson's best performance in the whole movie in general. In any performance as Black Widow yet. But the other thing was, I mean, just the second act goes into, we can finally say it because spoilers again. Yeah. Time travel.
Yes.
They do the time travel thing. We've been predicting that for a while. I think a lot of people were theorizing that. And then the third act is the climax of the film.
The big fight
after they bring everyone back. That is the definitive. That is a war.
Yes.
That is war, and it paid off.
Oh yeah,
it was
fantastic.
Is the. I think that is literally the best third act, like top 5 third best acts in a film ever.
Yes. Yes, without a doubt. There's just so much that goes on, and just seeing all of those characters on the screen at once really is just like the childhood dream. It just puts the cherry on top. Yes.
Like, how many times did you came? Did you finish a lot while watching this?
Yeah.
Happy tissues, sad tissues.
Also had like the whole couldn't speak, like jaw dropping, like you knew what was gonna happen, but when it happened, you're like, oh my god, like did that just happen?
We'll get to this. So let's start from the beginning of the movie. And again, like I said, if you're watching this, we're literally recapping the whole thing and going through every little aspect that we might have liked, because I don't want to miss a single thing. And if you guys are new here, well, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, where I do tons of content like this and early movie reviews. And of course, you guys can also go over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early. So, starting at the beginning of the film, the opening scene is with Hawkeye.
The one person we've been waiting to see.
And the second we see this, he's hanging out with his family. I think we both looked at each other and we said, we know what's happening.
Yeah, it was going to be a sad moment, but it was going to be a definitive role and scene for Hawkeye.
And I think everyone did. I think everyone in the audience, the second they saw Hawkeye and they see him playing with his family, I was like, oh.
Yeah, crap.
And everyone just starts disappearing. They turn to dust. He doesn't know what's going on, and it cuts. And it just goes to a bunch of things. It cuts to Iron Man and Nebula playing a little bit of football, which I like.
That was a good little humor.
We both really like Nebula in this film.
She became more of like a human.
It's a full rounded character now. Yeah. And that's what I really liked about it. Because Guardians 1, she was fine. Guardians 2, a little bit better. Infinity War, a little bit better. This, full rounded now. Yes. Like when I go back and watch those films, it will enhance those. And that's something that Endgame does so good, is it enhances every other film now.
Yeah.
And which we'll get to in the time travel part. But we get to Iron Man. He's sending a message to Pepper Potts, which is a very emotional message. We saw that in the trailer. And I liked that they added more to it. Like there was more, like the trailers hit a lot, and I really appreciated that. But then Captain Marvel comes to rescue them.
Yeah. And I think everybody
expected
that Captain Marvel was
I either expected them to figure out some plan
to fly the ship back or have Captain Marvel, and it so happened to be that as soon as you saw the light, you're like, we know what
and she's barely in the movie, but I like
that's the sad part.
Did you like her more in this film or her origin film? I liked her more in this one
I liked her more in this one only because she was actually in control of her powers and she was able to do a lot of damage.
But I don't think if you didn't like her in the first one,
you probably won't like her in this.
I think it'll be the same thing. Yeah. Like you're just be like whatever. She's only in the film for like literally 6 minutes at most.
Maybe 10 at the most.
Yeah, but she has some badass moments.
Yes.
But yeah, she does save him, and I didn't love that moment personally. Like I liked it, but. And I also like that the end credit scene in Captain Marvel was not in the film.
Yes.
Like, I like that they did that. A definitive, like, she's here. So some people might be confused with that if they didn't see Captain Marvel. But going to this, then we go over to, they're said, hey, why don't we just go up there and fight him?
Yeah.
So they track him down, and it's Cap, Thor, Captain Marvel, Hulk. Rocket, Hulk, is it Smart? No, it's not Smart Hulk yet.
No, it's not. It's just Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
But no Iron Man. Pretty much everyone who's alive besides Iron Man because he's skinny and dying pretty much, which was very creepy.
Yeah, he was very anorexic.
Yeah, you could tell he was not doing good. But so they go up to his planets. They go up to the Garden of Thanos.
Yeah.
We're going to kick his fucking ass. Nebula's like, he's there. And they go in. He destroyed the stones.
Yeah, the stones were completely gone.
I liked how he looked. Like he was just literally was withered away.
After the snap, it just completely tore him apart.
But then
when he did it to obliterate the stones, it almost killed him. Which is very impressive.
I just love because everyone in the audience just goes. The second Thor just goes shit, cuts his head off.
Thor just takes his head off, and
I love when they ask, "What'd you do?"
What'd you do?
I went for the head.
Yeah, I went for the head, and it was just like nobody expected it. I mean, I was like. What are they going to do for the whole movie now?
And then I was like, okay, if they do the time travel thing.
Yeah, then it's going to be a different thing.
But I really liked that moment with them.
Yes.
And it was really badass and just like how like nervous they were. And I liked how Nebula went more into thinking like, my father's nothing but a liar. He's not a liar.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth. And it's emotional in that part. But so then it cuts 5 years later.
Yes.
Which... Whoa, they've been living 5 years later. Everything's deserted. And did you notice how they had so much trash piled up?
Yeah.
Like as much as Thanos was talking about, like, this will help the world, it really isn't.
Yeah, because everything all the people that disappeared in the snap, all of the stuff that they had is just lying around. They haven't done anything with it.
No, it's 5 years. But we move in here, it opens up on Captain America hosting a therapy thing, which I whispered to you that is one of the directors.
Yeah.
In the cameo. It takes me out for a bit because I know him. Did you know that was him?
No, I didn't know it until when people were like, their jaw kind of dropped. I was like, okay, that's somebody that is involved with.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I was like, well, because I think it takes me out because every film they directed, he's had a cameo in.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit out, but I did like how he was like just talking, just saying how he's dealing with certain things, and Captain America hosting this therapy thing, I think was nice.
Yeah.
And I like the.
It kind of takes you back to.
Well, they're not being heroes.
No, but it kind of takes you back with Winter Soldier when Sam was hosting the therapy for PTSDs, and then it's Steve Rogers this time.
And he's kind of filling that role.
Yeah.
But now we go into the one thing this is one of my nitpicks too. A rat. Seriously, a rat saves Ant-Man. I don't mind this at all, actually, but it was just too coincidence.
Yeah, it's like. They couldn't have. Nobody would have known what was happening because the only ones who knew where Scott Lang disappeared in the snap. Mm-hmm. But to have a rat, out of all things, just kind of wander up on the dash and happen to magically press the right buttons and have it come out, it was kind of like
you're gonna tell me
really
that no one that was still alive wouldn't have been like, what's this van thing? That's Scott Lang. So a little bit weird on that part, but whatever. He's back. He goes to Memorial Park, which was.
Yeah, he was looking for Cassie.
I really liked that park sequence. And then he finds older Cassie, which... Goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
The amount of time... How many times did you feel like just goosebumps goes up there?
Probably like 80% of the whole movie.
Hawkeye was one of the big parts where his family disappears. This was another one of those. But now we go to Black Widow, and she's having communications with everyone else. Nebula, Rocket, War Machine, Okoye,
Captain
Marvel. Which... Short hair, man!
Yeah, she finally got the hair.
I loved her short hair. And I liked her new costume, too.
Yeah.
I like the colors on it more, but... So they're having these communications. They're trying to just see how the rest of the world is doing. The rest of the universe, in a sense. And War Machine has, let's just say this. He has a little bit of a deal trying to find Clint Barton.
Yeah.
Because he's murdering people.
And he found Clint Barton, or he's going to.
He killed all the cartel members.
But Black Widow, she really wants to go see him, and he's just like, I don't think you should, because he is a truly different person. He's basically going and finding everybody that was bad in the world before the snap, and that did not deserve to live, because the snap takes out rich and poor. And I like that they did that with him.
It wasn't just like he's taking out random people.
Yeah, no, he was just taking out warlords, cartels, stuff like that.
And he's not a killer until now.
Yeah.
And Ronan was badass. And I have to say, like, I've always been a fan of Hawkeye, but they really did his character
They amped him up
really well.
They did Ronan justice in this movie.
And so that's all kind of going. Black Widow's like, I'll find him for me, blah 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 blah. Scott Lang pulls up to the door. I'm alive, hello! They bring him in, he starts explaining the quantum realm, blah blah blah. They said, well, who can figure out the time travel maneuver?
And you guessed it, the only person,
Tony Stark. We head to his house in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
He has a daughter.
He finally got that.
I love you, 3000. Yeah. Oh my, dude, every time I think of that now, I tear up a little bit. Did you cry?
I did towards the end when like the last 10 minutes of the movie. I cried for multiple times. One for sadness, and then two for happiness, just because of how they wrapped it up.
And I don't think I haven't cried in a movie since Toy Story 3. Like I think that was like really the last film that really got me emotional. But man, seeing his daughter
Morgan,
and just like the whole thing that goes around him is he's hesitant. He doesn't want to do it.
He doesn't want to leave what he has.
Yeah, no help. There's no help. He has a good life. Yeah. He has everything that he could want. He might be losing on things. He might have lost the kid. Which, man, the second he lands and he sees Cap, he's like, I lost the kid.
Yeah,
dude, fuck. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking of that line. But so he obviously denies it. They go and see the next smartest person they know, Professor Hulk.
We were all kind of expecting it, but it was so cool.
I thought it was a little bit weird when they were in the cafe talking. I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, I think everyone started giggling. Yeah. Like,
really? Like this is where he's gonna be. He's actually like, because the Hulk hated humanity. He utterly hated, and Bruce Banner was like trying to. I mean, get
within
him to,
5 years, I can understand
it, but he's a completely different person. I mean, it's 100%. Basically the Hulk's body with Bruce Banner in control,
which I liked. It's just I thought the introduction to it was a little bit nitpicky. Again, these are small things. I didn't hate Professor Hulk. I was really happy he was in it, but he was talking to it, and then of course we go back to Tony Stark. He's considering. He sees Spider-Man's picture. He was like, and he
figured it out.
He figured it out first try. Yeah. He goes, shit.
Yeah, he's like, really? Like, what do I have to do now?
And then his daughter hears him, and the whole
conversation between them two.
Puts her to sleep. I love you, 3000. Dude, man. And then he comes up and sees Pepper. Love their relationship. Yeah. And he goes, I gotta love you. I love you, 3000. And that Pepper Stark moment, and Pepper Potts was like, if you have a chance to do it, you have to do it. Or it's gonna eat you away. And I really like that. But moving forward, he pulls up in an Audi, of course, some marketing there, of course, and gives Captain America back his shield.
Yes.
Really
good
moment.
Which we were all waiting for.
Yeah, I forgot because I wasn't paying attention in the beginning of the film. He still didn't have his shield back. Yeah, no. So it was nice to see that. And he's like, it's time to gather the team. I got this. So, what do Hulk and Rocket do? They drive down to New Asgard.
Yep.
And they find Thor the Bum, who looks like the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Like, literally. And Korg and Meek were alive.
Yeah, Korg and Meek. Oh, my God. They're just sitting there, and they're playing Fortnite. I
didn't like that.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny, but so here's the thing. This is the one thing I think we had a nitpick on. I don't mind it. I know it's from the comics. I know he gains weight in the comics and he gets bigger while he's getting older. I just didn't like that they made him an alcoholic and really a bum.
Yes.
It really took away from a lot, and I didn't mind it as a character thing, but they played it up for laughs so much that
it kind of drew away the significance.
It was too
kooky.
Comics, It was too weird. And I didn't mind it again, but it also at times bugged me at certain elements. It was like, I get you're an alcoholic now, but also, I thought he could never get drunk. Because
I don't know, because Captain America can never get drunk because of his
remember when
but he always drank at Asgard when they had like family dinners.
Remember when they were at Age of Ultron, they were at the party, he's like, oh, my metabolism is so fast. So
he did have the Asgard alcohol, which does get Asgard drunk.
I guess that's true. But I just didn't I love it as much. I like Valkyrie being there. I like Asgard's new location. But so it was a nice little thing in there. He comes back to the team. I wish he got skinnier.
Yeah, I wish they would have gone back to the badass. Did you think his tummy looked
good?
No, even in the suit, he was just...
It still seemed weird. But moving forward, I mean, now we got Hawkeye. He's kicking ass. He's slicing Yakuzas, which was really brutal.
Yeah.
We saw Thanos' head go clean off.
Yeah.
And you see the Yakuza's neck slit.
Yeah, it starts bleeding.
And you see blood. And I'm like, this is some, like, R-rated stuff.
darker version of Marvel.
I didn't mind it, though. No. But Black Widow reunion, blah, blah, blah. She gets him back on the team. Mm-hmm. Then we get some interactions between Rocket Raccoon and Stark. And, of course, they're moving forward in that element. And they decide, we have 6 stones to get, 3 teams, and 1 shot at this. The teams come out to be Ant-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man, and Cap.
Yes.
Rocket and Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other four members are kind of split into two when they go back in time.
War Machine and Nebula.
And Nebula and Widow and Ronan and Hawkeye or whatever you want to call it. I like the teams. I like how they split them up. And I actually thought it was a smart way of splitting them up. So of course we'll talk about, we'll kind of go into this. And I really like that scene of when they have all their hands in the middle.
Yeah.
There's like whatever it takes. They go back, they go in through the time machine, and they go to their different areas, which those are just beautiful shots when they're all flying through. So they all go to different things. So Ant-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man and Cap, they have 3 stones to get in their time.
They go back to New York in
2012, where everything's getting destroyed, which... Yep. So let's get my nitpick out of the way. Let's get our kind of things. Mm-hmm. I want a little bit more fun in the time travel realm.
Yeah,
there
I would
was
agree.
Some fun
there
to
were
have,
some good moments,
and I like that they played around with like some of the things that we didn't see. Like obviously you get Alexander Pierce.
Yeah,
you see him from Winter Soldier. You see the Hail Hydra thing, which was funny. When Captain America got in the elevator, everyone was like, "He's gonna kick their ass. He's gonna kick their ass."
Yeah, basically what happens is you see what happens after the movies end, like how they clean it up, how they take Loki away. It was kind of cool because
except Loki didn't get taken away; he took the Tesseract. So this is a way that they could bring him back
in.
I don't want him back though.
I think he should be. The way he was done is just done.
It's perfect. So, but I really like the teams. Hulk goes to get the Time Stone.
Yes.
Ancient One pops up. Love that whole interaction between them. Ant-Man and Rocket, or Ant-Man, Cap, and Iron Man go get the Tesseract and the Scepter.
Yes.
Well, Hulk fucks that up in that world, knocks the Tesseract out of the way.
Yeah.
Loki takes it.
And vanishes.
So Cap and Iron Man decide, hey, we have the Scepter, which we haven't talked about this, Cap versus Cap.
Yes.
Nice little action sequence, and I love... That's America's ass right there. There's so many good one-liners, and again, I still think Paul Rudd is the best casting that the Marvel Universe has done. It was so out of this realm, but perfect. But I really liked all that aspect. But again, I was expecting them to fight the Chitauri. Actually fight them and get into the middle of it. But a lot of it was just character interactions, which I don't mind. Yeah. But especially when we go back to 1970. That's when they go to get the Tesseract. Cap and Iron Man decide, hey, we can go get more pin particles, but we can also get the Tesseract at the same time.
Because they're at the same place.
Lots of nice character interactions there. You get Tony with his father.
With Howard.
That was probably my favorite one. And then Cap seeing Peggy.
Yes.
Which is great. I thought there was going to be a little bit more interaction with, the Tesseract literally walked out.
Yeah, that was it. It was basically the pin particles and the Tesseract. They grabbed it, walked out the door. But it was nice because, like Zach said... Steve got to see Peggy, Tony got to see Howard, and they had a nice little closing moment, which was good.
And the whole father talk and stuff. And I think it makes him see that my father wasn't the biggest dick.
Yeah, he was actually a good person.
Doing the right stuff, and he was nervous to have a child, which... Again, just hits you in the feels, man. Just hits you in the feels.
Because now you know that Tony has
But now we move on to our next team, Rocket and Thor. They go back to Thor the Dark World, which I'm actually glad they did not spend too much time in this. Yeah. This is the worst film in the MCU. It's not even bad. It's just boring.
Yeah, it's just
But you see Natalie Portman.
Yes.
She gets plucked by Rocket.
Yep.
And Thor is a drunken idiot who goes to see his mom, and his mom friggin' knows, you are not from my time.
Yeah, his mom knows everything and knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I like that whole discussion and stuff, and then Rocket's running, and they're like, we have to leave. That was a pretty fast interaction. Nothing there. It was nice seeing Thor's interaction, and then, of course, he goes like this and gets Mjolnir.
He's like, I'm still worthy, and that plays a huge factor later on in the movie.
Yes.
It's so great.
Yes. Now we get to the last team that we have, which is Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And, of course, Nebula and War Machine. They split up. They take the ship to go to Morag to get the stone from Star-Lord. And then they go to Vormir to get the Soul Stone. Which, at first, I was like... I thought Nebula and War Machine were going there. But then, after they sent Hawkeye and Black Widow, I think you and me both knew...
We're kind of like, great.
Someone's dying.
Yeah.
And those two characters going, probably being the two characters that love each other the most, made the most sense.
Yeah.
Did you think she was going to die, or do you think it was Hawkeye?
I assumed it was going to be Hawkeye.
Really? So the second they got there, I'm like, that's it. They're killing her off. Because I was like, why kill him off to not have that reunion with his family?
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. I just figured he was going to be more stubborn and purposely try to make sure she did. But 11 years ago, it started with Robert Downey Jr. And Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. So it was only right to end it.
The second he was running off, I'm like, oh my god, they're doing it. And then she grabs him, knocks him out, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And I just love how Hawkeye's like, is this fucking guy lying?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't even know my father's name, so no.
Yeah, he's not lying.
So he gets the stone, and when he time travels back and they all come back at the same time,
and his emotions is
just and Hulk's like, where's Natasha?
Yeah.
I was hoping to see that their relationship would be back.
Yeah, back to what it was.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I did too. It was touching.
But, so it didn't happen. Black Widow, rest in peace. We're still getting a spin-off film of her, but it's going to be a prequel.
Yeah.
But I think it was a fitting end to her character. Mm-hmm. And it, again, really, really well done. Now we get to Nebula and War Machine, which... Really funny moment here with Star-Lord
back when he's dancing with the rats.
And which is one of my favorite sequences in the whole Marvel universe, but I really liked how there was and War Machine just goes bonk.
Yeah, and just hits him because he's an idiot.
And they take it, and then they're both time traveling back, but Nebula can't go. Yes. And it's because her version in that time period is also knowing what they're doing. So then this is how Thanos plays into it. They kidnap her, and they send her back in time, the old asshole version. Nebula back in time to bring Thanos because he can see that they're trying to reverse what's happening in that time. And he sees that he died.
Yeah, he sees that he already succeeded, and instead of
Alexina the Black Order was alive still. Yes. I like that they brought them back because even though they didn't have the biggest part in this one either, it was nice seeing them. But nice little things there. Finds out about the time travel. We're getting further into this now. So everyone comes back. They make a gauntlet. I really like the new gauntlet.
Yeah, the one that's made out of Iron Man's
And, of course, Hulk takes it because it's gamma radiation. It makes sense for him to grab it because everyone else probably would have died if they taken it.
Most likely.
Gauntlet's made. Hulk snaps. And at the same time this is happening, Nebula brings evil Thanos back. The whole
just completely
ship
destroys the Avengers.
Just badly.
Headquarters.
Just, yes. But at the same time, they open up all the doors. Clint's wife starts calling him. The birds are all flying around. Everything seems back
at this moment, we still don't know if all of the characters that passed away,
are
like
alive.
Bucky,
we don't
Sam,
know.
we don't know.
We know some are, but not everyone. Place gets destroyed. Decimated. The Thanos has horrible aim.
Yeah,
the fact that they didn't kill someone in that battle, I'm not going to say I wanted them to die. Yeah. I was really happy
it's Marvel.
That
it's not going to.
But so they go into this. Ant-Man turns into Giant Man to save Hulk, Rocket, and War Machine because they're drowning. Hawkeye gets the gauntlet. He's running away from it, which was some cool sword action against the Outriders. But Thanos comes to sit down. He's like, I'm going to wait for them.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything. He just sits there.
And Iron Man, Cap and Thor come into play. And Thor gets his whole suit. He gets Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
Yeah, he has both
and this is when we get into the third act. Like 45 minutes of nerd tears, nerd sweat, geek sweat, and just everyone edge of their seat like this. Everyone. I think we saw everyone just get up. And tears.
Yes.
Tears. So they start fighting Thanos. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best sequences in the whole film.
Oh, without a doubt.
One of the
probably
best
up top with Bucky.
And Thanos is still strong.
Yeah.
Even without the gauntlet, he's a powerful person. Oh my god. But then we see Mjolnir gets flown out into the back.
Yeah, and it
falls on the ground.
Zooms in on it and it's just laying there by itself. And we
both
looked at it like, dude, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And then Thor's getting his ass kicked. Iron Man's getting his ass kicked.
All of a sudden, the hammer flies and hits him.
And Thor goes, I knew it! Oh my god.
And it comes back with Cap and his shield and the hammer. Boom. And he just starts going to town on Thanos. It was great.
Literally, who cares about the Ant-Man theory of him going up his ass?
Yeah, that was
Captain America. Boom, boom. But Thanos is still kicking his ass. Rips the shield. Breaks the shield. Which ties back to Avengers 2 when Tony saw the shield broken. Oh my god. But then he's getting up, and I wish he would have said this. I was like, I can do this all day. He didn't say it.
Yeah.
But he gets up, and I thought he was going to say it, but he didn't. But he starts hearing Falcon and Winter Soldier, and the portals open up.
And Sam goes, on your left. And they fly through. And everybody
starts cheering. Yes. Everyone starts clapping. Everyone is back to life. Spider-Man, T'Challa, Shuri, Okoye, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, everyone coming through. And I loved how Spidey's like, I don't know, I just came back.
Yeah, it was like nothing happened.
And that's what I liked, is they aged. Like, they didn't age at all. But they come back and they're already... And I love how that swinging in shot when you see Valkyrie, Korg, everyone that's ever been alive, all their armies, and you see Thanos' army coming to play.
And you see Thanos' face kind of just drops for a second, because last time he only went up against maybe 6 or 4 of them at any given time.
And maybe a little bit of an army.
Yeah,
but it's Thanos' army.
Everybody, Asgard,
it's Asgard,
T'Challa,
Black Panther,
all the tribes.
Wakanda, Korg, Meat, everybody. All the wizards and stuff. And it's just that one shot where the whole battlefield has that one opening, and 2 big armies, and it just swings in. You see all the characters, and the Cap goes, Avengers, assemble.
And they all
just
start
goes
going.
Kicking ass. There's so much in there that I need to pause and look. Like Ready Player One, I thought had an excellent action sequence at the end. This is times 10 of that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's great.
Visual effects perfect. Everything was beautiful. And the whole thing is, where's the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Because we can't just destroy the stones. We have to get them back.
We have to take them back to where they were.
And I love how the van, Scott hits the button, gets him going. They all start going. They all start battling. So many different moments. What were some of your favorite in the battle sequence?
One of my all-time favorites was the whole girl scene.
That
literally had everybody: Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch,
Pepper
Shuri,
Potts comes in.
Pepper Potts. It had every
Okoye,
Valkyrie, every woman. They were all together
Wasp.
trying to get. Yes, they were all trying to get the stones back to the van, and it was just all of them, and that was
fighting. And I really liked when they were all tossing around the gauntlet. Like, they were all playing around with it. Like,
I got
every person that got it was someone who's welded in the comics.
Yeah.
So it's like, who's gonna put it on?
Yeah, you kept thinking somebody was.
Yeah,
but
and we'll figure it out down the road who does put it on. But of course, they're all fighting. Scarlet Witch fighting Thanos. Yeah. And he got desperate because he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
And because I still think she's the strongest Avenger. Like, she's
up there with Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But then Captain Marvel comes in once the ship starts destroying everything, just destroys the ship, and then goes down to kick Thanos' ass. Mm-hmm. Because the gauntlet falls right there. And we haven't even mentioned this Spidey with Valkyrie when he's swinging around. Hi, lady on a pony!
Yeah. And he finally uses the insta-kill.
Yeah, and they get to this last fight. Doctor Strange is trying to stop the water from coming in. And he gives Iron Man a look because Captain Marvel got her ass kicked by Thanos. Because he gets the gauntlet on. Everyone's trying to stop him from putting it, and originally, snapping it.
Iron Man had asked Doctor Strange if this was the one. And he said, if I tell you, it won't come true. Yeah. But towards the end, when Thanos finally hit Captain Marvel, he looks at him.
Because I love how he took out the stone and just boom, knocks her out. So then he goes up, grabs it, and right then and there he goes to snap. And doesn't work. And he looks and they're all gone, and Tony has them all in his hand. And that's such a great shot when they're all forming up. And he goes, I am Iron Man.
And snap.
Boom! Tears.
Yes.
Because we both knew, we all knew he ain't coming back from us. He's human.
He's human.
And then everyone starts dusting Thanos' face of him just in defeat.
Yeah.
Horrible. We keep missing that even Star-Lord got his little reunion with Gamora with the nutsack getting kicked. Everyone's a little reunion. Spider-Man with Iron Man, and when he hugs the kid, Wasp and Ant-Man. I love seeing them back together. I love Wasp. I fucking love Wasp.
She's so pretty.
And just everyone getting their reunion back together. But it's then the hardest reunion is Tony sitting there
with Pepper and Peter,
and Spider and War Machine crying, and just them her holding his hand, Spidey's reaction, and Pepper just going, "We'll be okay." And then his light turns off, and it dies, and it cuts to the funeral.
Mm-hmm. It cuts to him having a recording, telling Morgan, everything that's gonna happen.
Everything's gonna be.
And it ends with him saying, "I love you 3000."
Oh my god, dude! Fuck, man, so sad, man. But the funeral happens. We see the kid from Iron Man 3 there. We see everyone there. Captain Marvel, Nick Fury walks up. Very emotional moment. I think that's when everyone was losing their shit and crying.
That, and then the next moment that happens too.
Well, there's a couple moments. Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch start talking.
Yes.
You know what moment I started crying though? Even more was when Happy was holding the kid and he's like,
"I'll buy you all the cheeseburgers you want."
Because it goes back to when he got rescued. He's like, "I want a ton of cheeseburgers right now," and it's just.
It's emotional.
Man. God
but
damn.
Zach and I did, along with a lot of you out there, Zach and I called the fact that Iron Man dies.
And Captain America gets the happy
And Captain America goes back in time.
Yeah.
And stays back there.
And the second he was like, you have to take all the stones back and put them right where you got it. Okay. And you know why he took Mjolnir? I was looking at rumors. Because Mjolnir has to go back to the exact spot that it was in.
Okay.
So that's why he doesn't have it. So it makes sense because it has to follow the same timeline. So that all that stuff happens. He doesn't come back, and we all know. Sam was like, "Where is he?"
Yeah, Sam's upset, but
Bucky, he knew.
Bucky knew that he was going to stay because he deserves a happy ending.
Winter Soldier's like, "Hey, look," and he's sitting on the bench
and it's
with
an
the
old
shield.
Captain
It's an
America.
older Captain America, and he gives the shield to Falcon, which I actually like that they gave it to him over Winter Soldier.
Yes, I agree
because Winter Soldier's technically also the White Wolf now.
Yeah,
which no problem there. Really emotional there. That's Steve. And there is a way that they could technically bring him back by unfreezing the other Captain America that was still alive in that timeline. I'm not going to say they're going to do that.
Yeah.
But it is a way that 10, 20 years from now, if they want to bring him back.
Marvel always has a way out.
No one ever dies in a comic book film. But I hope they keep these characters.
Yes, I do too.
Tony, I like who they kept alive. Hulk is obviously incapacitated with his arm destroyed. Thor Where's he go now? The Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah, he
which
goes
I'm
with the
curious
Guardians.
to see if he's actually in the third one.
Yes,
because
that would be cool.
Apparently what I was reading is that that's their version of retiring the character. Of him just exploring space now. Because he gives Valkyrie Asgard, which now she's technically Thor of Asgard. So
she was the girl Thor.
So now, which I love that. And I hope I would want to spin off
because
film
did we even see that if Thor had Stormbreaker?
He did. I think he did, yeah.
Okay.
So, but still, I mean, it's cool. Like, I love that. And also another sequence within the fighting when they're switching the weapons, he's like, give me back the big one.
Yeah, give me back the big one. You get the little one.
But it really goes, we see Spidey sees Ned. Ned's all upset. Little confused on why Ned hasn't grown up 5 years.
Yeah, but Ned was probably...
Well, he was crying. So
but was Ned vanished? Because we never know.
We don't know. And I think that's a question for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yes.
Which they said that is going to end Phase 3. And after this film, I actually like that because that's going to probably tie together a lot of different films. And then go into the new stuff.
Yes.
Where's Phase 4 taking us? No end credit scene. Cassie, Wasp, Ant-Man all sitting there. Lives life with Peggy. I mean, these are kind of the last things. And of course, he grows old. He gets his final dance. That's it, man.
That's the end.
Stanley's cameo was great. Yes. 2 cameos in there I didn't really like. Ken Jeong from The Hangover.
Yeah.
Little, like... I know why he's in it, because the first property the director's ever directed, he was in it, so it kind of made sense. Little too on the nose again, but...
There's really not a whole lot.
The more we talked about it, I love this film.
Yeah.
I still think I like Infinity War just a bit more, but I think on rewatches, Endgame is going to probably end up finally cementing it as my favorite MCU film.
What I figured out?
Guardians out.
For Infinity War, it was, like you said, it was the bronze. But it was it was the shock movie. Like, it was great action. Like, it was... straight to the point. Endgame is just the emotional, like, it touches you.
Well, it's like, I don't think you're huge in Lord of the Rings. If you remember, the two towers, like, that's the Infinity War. This is Return of the King. This is the finale. This is the finale of all our characters. Great action sequence. Slow throughout the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, though.
No, I didn't either.
I liked seeing these characters where they're at now, and this is just a beautiful film. Mm-hmm. I loved it top to bottom.
Without doubt.
And
it will go down.
Even about my nitpicks... It's hard to get mad about those because I was so emotionally enwrapped in everything. It ties together so much of every 22 films and made them even better.
Yeah.
And now, where do we go now with the MCU? That's a question I'm curious to see. Of course, they have X-Men, Fantastic Four now.
It's going to be a while before that happens.
And I don't want them to build up anything. I just want them establish new characters. Start bringing up,
bring up characters that we haven't seen.
Doctor Strange, doing Namor.
Yeah.
And I know that's their plan, but start doing that. Further out that. Then introduce. I personally think the next big group they should do is Sinister Six. That's the next big villain I think they should do. It would make sense. You have Mysterio, Vulture, Scorpion, all of them. Do Doc them Ops. Next. Then why not go into Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Then go into X-Men versus Avengers. Then do Galactus. Because Galactus, I think, is the big one. And that's one. Why not bring Cap and Iron Man back for that one?
That would
you
be
could do another Civil War too.
Because that would also be way down the road.
And you could do another Civil War with Captain Marvel versus Black Panther or Doctor Strange. I would really be appreciated this. We're curious to see what's going to happen, but that is our spoiler review, our spoiler recap of all Avengers. That's our pros, that's our cons. We both really liked it. What would you give the film if you were going to give it through an A through an F? I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to stick with my same rating. Again, if it wasn't for those nitpicks, I think I would give it an A+.
Yeah. I'd give it like a 9.7 out of 10.
It's really close to a perfect film. But again, Thor getting fat.
Yeah,
not
just
the best.
Just little stuff, but it's
just
stuff
the little
that doesn't
things.
Actually make the movie worse. It just bugged me.
It was brilliant.
Yes.
Russo brothers did great. So happy. Guys, let me know what your guys' favorite film in the MCU is, and even what is your favorite moment from this film. Comment down below all your favorite moments. And again, these are spoilers, so if you watch this without... you're screwed. You're ruined. But whatever. Thank you guys again so much for watching this. If you guys are new, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Also, check out Sam Sean Films. And you guys can find Kurtis over on Twitter, where he's going to retweet soon that he called Iron Man dying quite a long time ago.
Yes.
So, for anyone who said he was wrong, he was right. Yeah. Thank you guys again so much for watching this. And until next time, stay classy.